Hey Leo, Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. I hope you're doing well. These are general readings, so we take what works and we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength or storyline on this reading, go check your other major placements. We're starting with the Oracle deck. Apparently, we're just doing the Oracle of Mystical Moments deck because I just got a book from that, so we're going to leave off with the other Oracle decks. And then we're going to move to the Muse Tarot for a more traditional tarot spread. The readings are coming out a little bit slowly. This is a very busy time of year for me, for my other works. And so, yeah, they're going to be a bit more slow. Let's see here. What else? What other announcements? I think that's it. Oh, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. No way. Oh, my God. It's like, yeah. It's like yeah, you don't want your tarot reader saying, oh shit. Just like you don't want your hairdresser saying, oh shit, and you don't want your acupuncturist or your surgeon to say, oh shit, in the middle of it. But luckily during surgery, you're not conscious. So they can say, oh shit, all they want. But okay, well, ooh, boy. Okay, Leo, we've got, Leo. We've got immature energy here and mismatched intentions. So we have Lorelei. This is someone a little bit maybe emotionally immature. They don't really understand the effect they have on other people. They create a lot of upheaval just by doing themselves. Just by being themselves, they've created a lot of upheaval just by doing what they felt like doing, saying what they felt like saying. They've created instability and upheaval. Other people, like these fishermen, this is their livelihood. This is their lives. They could die here. This girl, she's just like, and male or female, it's just kind of someone who's a little bit oblivious of how the effect that they have on other people, and that they have created a lot of upheaval and instability in other people's lives. Then we have these mismatched, this is the art of seduction. To me, this is mismatched intentions. Somebody's here just to have a good time, and somebody's here really wanting like a long-term relationship or wanting to put in some work into something, and the other person's just there for a good time. So neither person is wrong or terrible. They're just at different points in their lives and different points of what they desire right now. And this could be a work situation. I've seen this card multiple times in work situations where the employer is just going to use the ambition of the employee with no intention of ever giving a promotion, or vice versa. An employee, well, I've never seen it vice versa, but I'm sure it could happen. An employee is just there for a paycheck, but someone else has bigger investments planned for them. But this is just mismatched intentions, relationships, work, whatever, mismatched intentions. Somebody's really serious about it, really wants more, really wants a more committed situation, and the other person is just enjoying what they're getting out of it in the moment. I'm going to guess that the person enjoying it, getting it out of this moment is, well, no, it could be either one. It could be the person wanting more, wanting a commitment, making statements to the fact that the other person finds very unsettling, or it could be the entity here that just doesn't want very much, isn't really looking for very much. It's important to note that neither one of these people is wrong. Integrity has something to say when they're dealing with the situation and dealing honestly with each other. But it's not wrong to just want nothing, to just want the paycheck, or just want the to have a good time right now, or whatever. That's not wrong. What's wrong, the wrong part comes in communicating, and it looks like there's been some less than skillful communication here. We have Red Garden also. This is looking back at something from the past and realizing how much you've changed. Maybe you don't want that just to date for fun anymore. Maybe you're feeling more serious and this other situation isn't going to work for you anymore. But your heart's ready for the future, ready for the next steps. Your mind is looking at the past and you're seeing something in a different way, in a new light. From there, you have changed, you've grown. So you're at sort of this threshold point where you're looking back at who you've been and on what's gone on in the past. You're seeing it through a new lens, through the lens of who you are today and the ways in which you've changed. You're seeing it very differently now. Your heart's ready for the future, but you're still maybe wistfully looking back at the past, or understanding things with a different clarity, or through a different lens of what's gone on in the past. And it could be this relationship you know, and how different how this dynamic was and what played out there. But your heart is really ready to move on. Your mind's just still a little bit, I think, fascinated by a new lens and a new way of viewing something. Then we have tiny triumphs. So this is typically going to be your intuition. It could be something else though. That's small, quiet, doesn't really get to have the say here, and it's popping out in a big way and speaking its truth, saying what it wants to say. It's not gonna, you won't be able, if this is your intuition popping in here, you're not gonna be able to ignore it. Normally our intuition is quiet, still. We have to get quiet and still in order to even hear the intuition, right? If it's a tiny little mouse in this field, we have to get very quiet and sit in one spot. I used to do this as a kid a lot. Go out and sit in a field in one spot as still as I could and wait and see all the different animals that would come out. I loved it. I loved it. There were bunnies that would always come out. Anyway, but I'd have to get very, very still and very quiet in order for those animals to come forward. So that's a lot of what the intuition is doing here, is the intuition, but is typically, you have to sit very still. This intuition is not going to be ignored. And it's going to come out, there could be a little bit of a sense of humor here. It could be you ended a relationship because you didn't want to commit, or somebody didn't want to commit, and then now they're like 4 months later getting married to somebody else. Like, you know, there's some sort of irony or sense of humor here, but this is about the mind being not getting to bully the intuition this week. The mind doesn't get to rule. This is not the ruler of this field this week. The intuition is. And there's some sort of role reversal. So it could be that these people also reverse roles. Like the one person that was just playing now wants something serious, and the person that was trying to be serious now is not interested anymore. So this can also denote just a role reversal, either through intellect and intuition, where your intuition pops out really loud and intellect takes a back seat, or also just a general role reversal where what generally didn't have power has the power right now, or what generally was quiet and unspoken is coming out in a very loud way. So or the parties are switched. So there could be some sort of role reversal here. All is connected, pull one thread, everything changes. So this also is my Anansi card. Ooh, we've got some storytelling going here. The stories we tell in our head, pull one thread, you see it a little differently, and suddenly this, whatever this person said or did, or if that's you, you see it in a totally different light. So, but this is about one little change in perspective can change everything, can change the whole situation, can change the seasons. It's just one little thread. And when we see Anansi, we see the storyteller. And so it can be part of our story. How we frame a story, how we frame a situation can our whole world can change if we tweak that just a little bit. So just a little bit, the story that we have about this situation just needs to be tweaked a little bit, and we're going to see something in a whole new way and in a whole new light. And I'm getting that from just about every card here. Something gets tweaked and we see everything from a totally different perspective. All right. All right, for Leo, what do we have for Leo? This is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Wow, this totally seems like a winter solstice reading. We've got a lot of dark cards here. Fears. Yes. Oh, I love seeing this card here and this one in particular. Okay, in your recent past, we have 7 of inspiration. We have having to stand your ground, having to, hold the elevator doors open for your dreams, for what you want, for something that inspires you. This is standing up for what you believe in, standing your ground. This is what you want, and being sure, being certain about what you want. So the way I see it with this art of seduction is you knew what you wanted from this situation. You wanted either you were the, I just want to have some fun right now. I'm not looking for anything big. Or you were like, I'm definitely looking to get married and have some kids. So what are your intentions? So whatever it was, you were clear on what you wanted and you stood your ground. You were like, yep, definitely want that. That's what I want. Or I want a job with, the ability to move up. I want, promotions. I want this. You knew what you wanted and you were willing to fight for it and willing to stand up for it and willing to not make compromises. You were able to be uncompromising with what your dream was, what your vision was, and what was exciting to you. In the current situation, we have the moon. We have subconscious issues coming up, coming forward, seeing things in a new light, seeing things that were previously hidden from you, that you didn't see, that you didn't know. This can be within, seeing your own subconscious issues come forward. This can be also in conversation with others, is starting to understand, what they meant, what they said, what they meant by what they said, because maybe you didn't understand their perspective or where they were coming from. So the moon is all about revealing hidden emotions, hidden motivations, revealing subconscious issues. So you might be seeing that you had some issues in this relationship in the way you were responding to this other person, that you were afraid of something, or you had some issues with something, or you could be seeing what the issues are, what the underlying issues are of this relationship, or what the hidden motivations were, because this can often look like other people, just people having mismatched motivations, that they maybe haven't talked about that yet. And now you're starting to discover the other motivations, what the other person actually wants. It was probably very unsettling when you first heard about it, but you're starting to explore and reveal things. If this is a relationship, you're starting to reveal things to each other about what you want, where you stand on different things, and what your motivations are. So you might even just be starting to understand your own motivations for something, and why you've behaved the way you have, and why you did the things that you did. You're starting. A lot is in the process of being revealed that at one point you couldn't see very clearly. And then what's on your mind is this 5 of materials. This could be fear of being left out, fear of poverty. Maybe you, have been staying at a job where the intentions are mismatched because you don't want to be poor. You're staying someplace where you're not being valued, or you're not getting what you want out of the situation anymore. And you realize that you're not going to get what you want out of the situation. And then you have these fears about being left out, about being poor, about being alone, about being, about lacking things. You don't want to go without things. You don't want to be left out in the cold. You don't want to be an outsider. You don't want to be, you don't want to lose your job, but yet at the same time, there's this mismatched intention. You don't want to, necessarily break up because you don't want to be alone and you don't want to feel left out here, but also how else are you going to deal with the situation? So it seems very real to you, the possibility of poverty, or of feeling left out, or of being excluded from something, even self-excluded. I mean, this is something that you're really thinking about. Do I need to exclude myself from this situation, from this mismatched energy, from the situation? Maybe you came in and your motivations weren't great either, and now you're like, oh, should I remove myself? So there's some sense of removal from either wealth, or not having time, not having money, not having connections, not having what you need, and the possibility that you might choose that would be something that you could choose. But I think it scares you. I think you're worried about feeling left out and feeling poor. What's at issue here is this Ace of Materials, not having a new job, not having a new job, not having the money, not having the time, not having a new opportunity come in. So what are you just gonna leave this old situation without a new situation coming in? Are you gonna, leave this old job? There's not a new job coming in. There's not a new job on the horizon. There's nothing new coming in here. So what are you going to do? You don't see where you're going You just see that this may not actually be working out very well, and that you're seeing it in a new light, but you're seeing the past in a new light, but you're not seeing the new light come in. You're seeing the past in a different way, and the decisions you've made and what you've fought for and what you stood up for, but you're not seeing where this is all going, or the next situation, or the next thing to do. Yes, oh my gosh, that's my heater here. You're not seeing, I'm going to try to turn the heater off. I did my part in turning the heater off, so it's got to do its part, and sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. So you're not seeing the new situation come in. You don't see where this is all going, but I love it because I see where this reading is going, and I'm very excited about it. So you can't see this. You don't know, well, what do I do next? What comes in next? How do I make a living? How do I keep a roof over my head? How do I have, is there another relationship? Is there more time? You can't see. Your heart's ready, but your mind is still looking at the past. Your heart's ready for the future. Your heart's looking this direction, but your mind's looking that direction, and it's looking at what's gone on. But I think only your heart is seeing the new thing come in, is seeing this, but you can't see it. You don't understand what comes next here. There's something in your environment that has you feeling trapped. This could be somebody who is telling you you're trapped, telling you you can't leave, telling you, inducing these thoughts into you, or this could just be part of the situation is making you feel trapped, right? Because you don't want to end up homeless in this situation, poor homeless left out in the cold. You don't see the new situation coming in, so you have these thoughts. Something in your environment is triggering you to say, I can't do this. I can't do this. And every time, but you're the only one thinking that. You're the only one saying that. Reality is not saying you can't do this. There might be somebody here that is saying that you can, in your life, that is saying you can't do that. But you've internalized it as well. So there's something here that's making you feel like you can't do this. But this card is all about the internals. You just feel like you can't do it. You feel like you're not good enough. You feel like you don't have the strength. You feel like you don't have the resources. You feel like, and every time you think that, it's just shitty mantras. This card is all about our shitty mantras and the way we hold ourselves back with crappy mantras that need to be replaced. So just, I don't recommend like a 360 on the mantras, but just kind of look for an off-ramp of the crappy mantras, and then you can sort of move around and get going on some better mantras, but it takes some time. So finding some better mantras, because right now your environment is making you feel and think that you're trapped and you're stuck in a situation when you're not. It's just that you can't see the next thing, but you're afraid that you're afraid of, because you can't see the next thing, you're afraid of leaving what you've got right now. And there's something here that's telling you can't, you're not good enough. I could never do that. Oh man, so many shitty mantras we all have. So changing that mantra, shifting it just a little bit from, I could never do that, to I don't see how I could do that right from where I'm standing right now, to maybe, that's a little bit of an itty bitty baby step, but you might be able to work with your mind on that one. And then moving, and you can just baby step yourself to like, I can do this. I absolutely can. I have what it takes, because this card is always about you actually do have what it takes. You're not actually trapped. You feel trapped. And that's important to acknowledge. Here we have your to-do list is this 2 of inspiration. So the 2s in my mind are about adjusting to a new reality. So we have adjusting to a possibility, but it doesn't quite fit in your life yet. So we have something where you can see something, it's still planning. So the inspiration is all about intuition and getting into our intuition, but it's like the first steps. It's not that first spike of intuition that comes in through the crown. That's just this idea coming into us. But this is the second part where we're like, could that happen? Could I really do that? Could I really do that? And I love it coming after this, because it's sort of figuring out if you could really do that. Do some calculations. Like a terrible but good example is if you want to get divorced. Like, do some actual calculations, do some research, talk to an attorney, figure out like what it looks like in your state, what the process would be like, what you could expect from that. So this is having some sort of idea, inspiration, some sort of intuition, and trying to figure out how it actually fits into your life and calculating it. So it's all about calculations, the two of inspiration. We're not quite fully into the inspired journey here, but we're starting to see that this idea that we have of something we'd like to do, how is that going to work? So it's just a research card, basically, calculations, research, get out the spreadsheets card. So you're kind of getting out the spreadsheets and at least starting to look at what's possible, because something's telling you it's not possible. This is saying it's possible, and do some calculations, figure out how possible it is. Like, you can't go on vacation. Maybe you really can't. But this is telling you, do the research, figure it out. Can you? Can you afford that? Can you maybe go on vacation? Can you quit this job? What would it look like if you quit this job? What do your savings look like? What are some resources you can access? Or, you know, if you want to quit this relationship, what does this look like? Do you have to move out? And you're like, well, I don't want to move out. So this is like, figure out, what are the steps to moving out? What do you need? What's the information you need? How do you do this? So it's just, you know, what you want to do has sort of been revealed to you. You feel like you can't do it. You're worried about being homeless or left out or impoverished. You don't see you don't have a new beginning coming in. So there's no, you know, you're not going to be able to leap to the new thing because you can't see the new thing. Something here has you convinced that this is not possible. This is saying it's possible, and actually figure out how possible it is. Actually go ask some questions, get your free 1-hour consult with that attorney, get your, talk to your real estate agent about, or just do some research on rental prices or new jobs. Go on a job search while you still have this old job. See what is possible. See what's out there. There's a lot of grid here, and I'm seeing even it's unusual in this inspiration suit, this grid, but there's a lot of. I think you're being asked to make a spreadsheet or something like that, or something. Getting organized of some sort of inspiration, some sort of idea of something that you want to accomplish, and getting organized on that, and getting your ducks in the row, understanding what the process is going to be like to, say, quit a job and find a new one. Are there other jobs available to you in places where you want to live? What's available there? What could you do? So, because you have something here that's got you sort of thinking that you can't do it. But this is just do some research. Just do some research on this idea, see if it's possible. That's your to-do list, is do some research, see what's possible. And then where we're going, this is what I love, the Fool. Because you can't see the next step. This is like people that only break up with people if they see their next boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay, well, I kind of wanted to break up with this person for a while, and now that I have something to leap onto, I will, right? But I don't see you being that way. That's not what this situation calls for. You might have been that way in the past, of like, I will break up with this person once I see what my next option is, or I'll leave this job once I have one lined up. You can't see that next option, and this is the Fool card. This is taking a leap of faith. It's called the leap of faith because guess what? It's not a leap of facts or a leap of everything lined up. It's a leap of faith. And it's just believing in your own intuition, in your own inspiration. It's believing in that and taking a leap of faith towards that. So again, I am not a legal expert, but you're going to be, or a financial advisor or anything like that. So you've got to make your own decisions here, but part of what's holding you back is not being able to see the next step. And this is saying, research the next step and then take a leap of faith, because this Ace of Materials isn't showing up right now. You are required to take a leap of faith. This is very important for your personal growth. So, all right, Leo, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for your likes and subscribes, and I hope you have a good week.